Well, they had played well, and the young guys got a chance, and the young guys seized the opportunity, and now they're hard to get out of the lineup.
What a difference a year makes for Marvin Menzies. Last year, UNLV under 500. Marvin gets a recruiting class under his belt. He was a consensus top 15 national recruiting class led by that man, a five-star recruit, McCoy.
And McCoy and Houston. People forget this program was down. Marvin came in. There's not a good crowd here tonight. People should be here. This team's on a roll. It may be Valentine's Day. Take your date to Thomas and Mack.
That's never a bad idea. So Mooring in UNLV has it. UNLV averages 86 points a game, where they're one of the top scoring teams in America, and they shoot it at about 51%.
But not a great three-point shooting team, and right away we see Air Force playing zone. Notice they double McCoy immediately. Now McCoy turns it over. He was averaging last time I was here 3.5 turnovers a game. He's dropped it to 2.8, but he starts the night off by throwing it away.
And that was an easy takeaway. Air Force not as methodical in their offense as in some years past. They can score the basketball a little bit. Scotty off the dribble, good look, and the rebound comes to the guards, Mooring.
Mooring will push it. Johnson with the ball now is a jet. He will push it every single time he gets an opportunity.
He's a guy that typically thinks pass first. Turnaround jumper for McCoy, and the rebound to Trevor Lyons, who's a very good rebounding guard, Dave.
He had, what, 7 rebounds in the game we had last week. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists. Darn near a triple-double.
Ryan Swad, all the good bigs historically for Dave Pilipovich, and they're not huge bigs. They're, in that 6'6" to 6'7" range typically, but they have to play inside. They all can shoot the ball from the perimeter.
And they can play inside and out. He's not quite the three-point shooter that Oleshinsky was and some of those other guys. But he can definitely step to the mid-range and drop it down. He's averaging 14 points and 6 rebounds in every game he starts.
5 on the shot clock, and Johnson gets all the way to the lid and finishes. So it's 2 apiece early. A little pressure from Vegas in the backcourt.
Yeah, they'd like to see to speed this game up a little bit. Now, Air Force doesn't play as slow as they used to. Like you said, they're not as methodical, but they still don't play as fast as the Rebels play. A lot of switching going on right now in the perimeter by the Rebels.
This is C.J. Seipels with the basketball. Sid Tomes, he's been starting of late, doing a nice job. Swan from 21 feet, and the rebound off to Johnson.
And when the little guy rebounds, he can motor up the floor.
And he got that blocked by Seipels. Mooring, good find, and a couple of free throws coming for McCoy.
McCoy started the year as a poor free throw shooter. I saw them play Utah here, and I was shocked. His form looked great. He was shooting like 20% from the free throw line. But since then, he's taken off. He's up to 71.4%. So he's a good shooting big at the line.
He's a worker, too. You and I were out early tonight, and he had a great lather going about an hour before the opening tip. On both blocks working on face-up, working on post moves.
He's a late bloomer. The great freshman at Arizona, DeAndre Ayton. These guys were junior high school teammates. And Brandon was in awe of Ayton. But he's come on, and part of it is that work habit. You know where that work habit comes from? Mama. 21 years in the U.S. Army. This kid learns discipline.
Well, I'm sure he can relate to the opponent tonight for UNLV. Not more disciplined than young men who attend our service academies, that is for sure. Sid Tomes gives it up. Here's Seipels on the left wing.
We're patient here. Remember, in the Air Force offense, anytime somebody gets dribbled at, he's probably going back door.
Long shot by Seipels. And here comes UNLV on the run. Numbers right, 5 on 4. And that's over the head of Mooring. Johnson missed his connection there. And it's another turnover. That's 3 in the early going on the Rebels.
What did Kevin Costner say in Bull Durham? Anything goes that far, that fast, should have a flight attendant on it. I mean, that ball took off.
That's apropos. Baseball season is upon us. Pitchers and catchers reporting throughout the big leagues. Valentine's Day and match going very well. And that is away from the ball. That may be on Houston holding Scotty. It is going to be on Shakur Houston.
That's an interesting matchup. Both men about the same size, both good athletes. You know, there's not much energy in this building. It's not a good crowd. It's the teams just don't seem to. They need somebody who's just start pressing and put some pressure on it to pick up the energy.
Oh, I think it'll come. Last year they played a 2 overtime game here. It was one of the best games we saw all year. It's unbelievable.
And their first game this year in the Springs was a 5-point win by the Rebels.
There's a turnover by Air Force. Johnson going against Swan, and the basket will count. Johnson finishing against the much bigger Ryan Swan.
Well, Swan has to make a decision here. Either I go for the block or I get out of the way. I don't want to run the risk of committing the foul and letting him make the basket. And that's what happens. He gets him with the hip. He didn't hit with the arm. He got him with the hip. And Johnson's an excellent free throw shooter, 84%. And this pressure that the Rebels are putting on it, I call it a coward's press. It's not really a hard press, sort of a little soft press. Not really speed them up, get them taking the time off the clock.
Scotty wanted to get it to Swan, could not. Now here's Tomes.
Who basically in the last few games has been the best outside shooter.
Oh, that's a great block by McCoy coming over to help.
McCoy leads the conference in block shots at almost 2 a game.
Houston from Mooring.
And a nice pass by Mooring. Now Mooring's, they're 2 guard, but he averages 3.5 assists a ball game. High for that position. They get 2 guards in the top 10 in the conference in assists. That's unusual.
Scotty can shoot the 3. There's McCoy again. An 8-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes for the Rebels.
Notice how they doubled McCoy really fast. Nice
that's great ball movement and an easy hoop for Travell.
In the open, we talked about his ability to score and rebound. But that was a great pass he just did. The advantage you get as a team when your interior people can pass. He averages 2 assists a game, which is big for a 4-man.
See if Air Force can step the tide here.
I thought Coach Pope would try to make a substitution, try to get some more scoring in there, shake up the group and stay with the same 5.
Lions cut off by Mooring.
Well, Elite can guard when they want to.
And they want to right now because they have guarded exceptionally well in the opening minutes of this game. 4 on the shot clock, and that's a contested jumper. And they have cleaned up on the glass. Not surprisingly, they are a good rebounding team.
They're a good rebounding team, yes.
This is a guy like Chris Clyburn, number 1 in the game in white for UNLV. He's instant energy, typically.
And they've got Jong in at the post now, too.
And that's never going to get to John. And it's taken away by Lions. 4 turnovers for Vegas. That's the only downside of their start.
Jong, the freshman from Senegal in Africa, has really started to come on. Started with a great game he had at the team win at San Jose State. Nice. Oh!
It was there, but you know what? Getting his hand in the passing lane was Amari Hardy, the freshman.
Deflections lead to interceptions. That deflection led to the interception. This is not have active hands. That's part of the reason that length is so important in basketball.
I know Coach Weir down in New Mexico, he counts up to deflections in practice, and if you lead deflections, you probably are going to start the next game. Here's Clyburn out of the corner, nothing but the bottom. It is 13-2 running Rebels. Chris Clyburn.
True, but let's remember, twice this year, Air Force has been down 20 in the first half and come back and won. So, hey, we talked about it. It's the academy. There's no quitting.
This is the first good look, and Seipels was a little bit short with it. The other opportunities have been of the contested variety.
Notice Lavelle Scotty doesn't play real close to Houston at the free throw line. Kind of invite him to shoot from there. He's not a good shooter.
Loose ball foul. There was a push on one of the cadets. It's going to go on Scotty, and that's huge, Coach. That's 2 on Lavelle.
Now, 3-point shooting is all about location. It's like real estate. Notice location, location, location. Clyburn was spotted up. Wrist cocked, ready to shoot it. The pass hit him right in the shooting pocket. The passer didn't pass him out of a shot. He got him a good shot. He put it right where he could deliver.
So Scotty goes out. He has not scored. 13:08 left. As Dave Kolakovic keep him next to him for the entire first half. It's a possibility. Frank Tui's in there, and also the freshman, Keaton Van Solen.
Even though Frank Tui has not had a great senior season, he is a veteran player. And I think he's a good sub to bring in.
No basket. Offensive foul. Go on hard.
Biggest play in basketball. Step up, give your body up to help the team win by taking the charge.
UNLV coming off an impressive 85-70 win against a good Wyoming club on Saturday. They began that evening up 19-2.
You know, and maybe even a more impressive win the week before at Nevada, the leader in the conference. Interstate rivalry, they go on the Wolfpack's home court and take away the win.
And you know what? That was the first time in 16 home games that Nevada had lost in Reno, and on top of that, it was the first time since 2015 that the Rebels had defeated a nationally ranked team. 13-2 UNLV with 7.5 in.
Dave Kolakovic told me at walkthrough today that he was going to zone most of the time, but he's gone to the man-to-man because they're lighting up that zone.
Clyburn penetrates, loses the basketball. Jacob Van has it.
Got to take advantage of the numbers, and got only 2 points.
Hesitation and a long jumper for 3, fired from Trevor Lyons, his 24th connection from deep. He's a guy who could score for Air Force. You know, we talked about Scotty, we talked about Ryan Swan, but Trevor Lyons can go get you 20 on a given night.
Yes. The seniors have been a little bit inconsistent. There he is, left corner again, and there it is, bottom of the well again.
Clyburn with a couple of triples.
One of the things that Marvin Menzies told me earlier in the year was he needed more consistency out of Clyburn. That's part of the reason he got moved out of the lineup. So now he's back in the lineup, and he's making threes.
Foul on UNLV, another timeout, 16-5 Rebels.
Yeah.
When you and I were growing up, you do your homework before you watch television. In your case, before you settled underneath and listened to the transistor radio.
Before I went out to play ball. All right, we got 4 flat on the baseline. One of the things that the Falcons do very well is out-of-bounds plays. Couldn't get a score then. It'd be nice if Jacob Van here got hot. You know, he had 37 against the Running Rebels a year ago. Exploded.
That was in the tournament. That was a couple of years ago, and he had the big shot to send the game to double overtime here yesterday. That at the end of their shoot-around today, they tried to replicate. Van didn't hit it this time. It didn't matter. That was in practice. Here's Tom just to force one up. And UNLV is smothering Air Force offensively right now.
Air Force has gotten better shots in the last couple games. They've played inside out. They're not playing inside out tonight. There's too much passing on the perimeter, no inside touches. Get the inside touches. Good things happen when your bigs touch the basketball.
They shot 59% against New Mexico, and that is going to be an offensive foul. That's on McCoy. That's the first on the 7-footer from Chicago, who went to high school last couple of years in San Diego at Cathedral Catholic. There's that backdoor cut.
There we go. There, that's what they need.
That's what they needed. But they needed it to be finished.
Right. You got to finish the layup.
Trevor Lyons did everything right except make the layup. Houston looked inside of McCoy. Frank Tui giving away a lot of size, but battling away. And that 3 is drained by Moore. Listen, his range is when he checks in on campus. I mean, anywhere on campus, he's in range.
Well, he's from Chicago. He went to South Suburban Junior College, and he can shoot it from South Suburban to here.
Yep.
Played for a great coach there, John Pagatti, one of the better junior college coaches in America. You know what I like right now about Air Force? They're not scoring, but they've got more activity. They're moving quickly. They got cutters.
Caleb Morris fired that shot and missed. Air Force has been out-rebounded 12-2. And I think this is going to be on 2.
Mooring drained 6 threes 2 games ago. So we know he can shoot it from outside. You know, early in the year he was in a bad slump. 2 for 16 in one ball game, but he's starting to come back around. He's shooting 33% from the three.
Coach, you mentioned the Nevada victory for UNLV. He had 31 to lead them in arena.
He had my career in one night.
Houston sets a ball screen. Morin goes the other way, finds Johnson. And he'll fire a three. Lyons has the rebound.
Now, one thing this team does once in a while, they forget to get the big guys the ball. They can't get three happy. Good things happen with Houston and McCoy touching.
That was a rhythm three for Lyons, his second triple of the game, 19-8. Houston may have gotten away with a walk. And staying with it and laying it home is Tervel Beck.
Tervel Beck, very good freshman. Was an all-state player in Ohio a year ago. You know his favorite player was growing up? Sean Marion. It's part of the reason he came here to play. He wants to be the next Sean Marion.
Well, Sean Marion had a great career here in Las Vegas and a terrific career in the NBA. Let's go to the Suns. Here's Frank Tui.
When Frank Tui gets the ball in the elbow there, he's got to try to take McCoy off the bounce. McCoy's feet aren't real good starting the dribble.
Van didn't get it out of his hand. They've been flirting with the shot clock violation. That one is a violation. 8:47 to go in the first half. 21-8 UNLV. Again, this is an Air Force team that scored 100 against New Mexico 4 days ago.
You see the screen up front there by Houston. Watch how wide he gets on the screens. Nice and wide. Does a good job.
McCoy. And a rebound by the freshman Van Solen.
I'm surprised McCoy didn't use his left hand because he has a very good left hand.
That stayed in play. Johnson, what a feed! And staying with it is Beck. He missed the layup and hung around underneath and got the offensive rebound.
And remember, 2 possessions ago, he did the same thing. He missed but stayed after it. That's a credit to his toughness, his grit.
Tui back to Morris. He's stripped down low. And it goes out of bounds off of Air Force. This is the best defense.
Lack of size and lack of athleticism in the paint.
Houston went to Hutchinson Junior College, which is a legendary JC program. At the JC National Championship Tournament.
Been there many times. You know one of the great coaches ever at Hutchinson? Gene Cady.
Gene Cady before he went to Purdue, huh?
Gene Cady before he went to Purdue.
Inside McCoy, good catch.
Not only he, but Tim Julier at Utah State. One-time head coach, Hutchinson Junior College, which is about 20 miles outside of Wichita.
Boy, we were in Logan the other night. Tim Verrier and the Aggies had a huge win over Leon Rice's Boise State Broncos. We'll see Boise State against Air Force on Saturday. They have a pretty big game tonight, don't they?
Woo! Boise State, Nevada, in the capital city.
One of the better games in the country tonight. 23-8, 7.5 to go in the first half. See if Air Force can get a different kind of look here against now a zone from UNLV.
Yeah, UNLV's played quite a bit of matchup, and Coach Bill Hogan expected to see a lot today because they played a lot of matchup in the game in Colorado Springs. 6 on the shot clock.
It's winding down. Somebody's got to throw it up. Morris drives, waits, hangs, and hits. Pretty good patience for Morris, a sophomore from Vista, California. Houston loses the basketball. And then a foul. And if that's on McCoy, it's his second.
He has been foul prone, but what he can't do is pick up fouls 80 feet from the basket. He's got to get his fouls around the rim.
Now McCoy did buy his second. He's going to come out. He's probably done for the first half. 1 shot, 1 point. And if you recall, at the Academy, it was a slim victory for UNLV, and McCoy wasn't really a big factor. It's amazing to say, but he really wasn't.
Neither was Houston. In that game, they combined for 11 points, but part of the reason was they only got 8 shots. How about Ryan Manning? He had not made a 3 until their win over New Mexico since December 17th.
Amazing, and he was their leading scorer the first month of the season. He was averaging over their first 8 just under 14 points a game. That's a big 3 right there.
And he's only 1.6 in conference play because his minutes have dropped. It's partially because those sophomores have come on.
A rare miss from Houston. And now Air Force can get it to single digits. I think they can take advantage of McCoy not being in the middle and go inside. Here's Swan. And he goes up, no go. Houston, another rebound.
What else is new? I mean, he's 22nd in American rebound.
And he's fouled out on the floor. Got a nice crew tonight. Tom O'Neill made the call. Michael Irving, Mike Reed.
We got a Southern Californian and Michael Irving, a Northern Californian and Mike Reed, and somebody from Chicagoland and the veteran Tom O'Neill.
Ryan Manning fought that foul. 5 team fouls on both teams. Mooring goes inside, and Beck is bigger than your normal freshman. 6'7", 230. He's got some girth.
Yes, he does. Wide body and uses the width of his shoulders to protect the ball. Not a great leaper.
Van Solen got a down screen, curled off of it, and he has his initial bucket of the game.
Really nice flash in there by Van Solen to get that shot. See Van Solen working hard to get around Beck inside and front him. Because Beck's really playing the low post. Started this game as a 3-man, but now he's the 5-man. He's open down low, finding him for the ball.
Van Solen fronts him now. Johnson gives off to Juice. This looks a little sloppy. And the rebound to Ryan Swan.
It's amazing the pace of this game and the way the Rebels played. You think they're up 20 and it's only 10.
Swan, good find. Morris, 3-ball, a little bit flat. And the weak side rebound comes to Amori Hardy.
That's the inside out we were talking about. They need to get more inside out. Good job of Lions being there and a catch by Mooring.
Mooring, great feed. 10 points now for Beck.
Beck had 16 last time out, which is a career high. He's on his way to beating that right now.
He had a dozen at the Air Force Academy. Manning for 3. And Swan pushed off. That would have been the first offensive rebound of the game for Air Force. Instead, it's a foul on Ryan Swan, and now he has 2 along with Lavelle Scotty. So Frank Tui will come in for Swan. Morris will come out. Sid Tomes back in for Air Force.
You notice how the bigs for the Running Rebels do a good job of hiding on the baseline behind the defense, and that takes kind of towards a short corner. So they make themselves available by hiding. Get behind, if you're big, get behind the defense where they can't see you.
Mooring, double clutch, 3, air ball, and foul on the rebound. Inside that John.
John going to the free throw line where he's 65%. You know, the Rebels get to the line a lot. 26.1 free throw attempts a night. That's #1 amongst every university in America. They get there a lot. You got to make it though. I say when you miss the front end of the 1-and-1, that's tantamount to missing 2. Got to make that first one. Notice when Holmes dribbles at Van Solen, he goes underneath the basket, makes a cut.
Van Solen, great feed, and Manning rises and throws it down.
It's nice to see Manning playing well. You know, he's gone through that rough patch as this conference play started, but he's come alive last game, and now he's played well so far with 5 already tonight.
Tui picked up his second foul a moment ago. He's going to have to stay in there, even with the 2 fouls. And Tomes reached in. John will go back to the line, but first a timeout. 10-point lead for UNL. Gotti. Ryan Swan with a couple of fouls. Brandon McCoy went out a couple of minutes ago with 2 fouls. Temboke John will go to the line. Dave mentioned he's from Senegal, went to high school in Florida.
I'm glad you took a chance to pronounce his first name. That's a tough So we talked about UNLV's ability to get the free throw line. As you see in this graphic, they lead America in free throw attempts, and they make 18 a night. That's the most in the conference, and they've made more free throws than our opponents have attempted. And it would be even better, but they're not a good free throw shooting team. We're 70% at the line, which is 8 in the conference.
Dave, you pointed this out. What's unusual in this day and age for UNLV is they truly get a lot of points in the paint as opposed to having the love affair with the three-point shot. But I have no problem. If you're a good three-point shooting team, you get 3 for that as opposed to 2.
Ready for this one? 58% of their points come from two-point shots, which is 7th in America. And they shoot 57% on twos. So you're right, they get the ball in the paint and they play inside.
Tui gets an offensive rebound. Lions free throw jumper, and Tui's hard work is rewarded. It is a 9-point game. For Lions, he's got 8 to lead the academy.
The academy, they're like that Jack Russell Terrier that's got a hold of your cuff. He won't let go. They won't let you get away from him. They just keep hanging in there.
And they're playing with more confidence. Last couple of outings, victories, the big win we talked about over New Mexico. Prior to that, they complete the season sweep at CSU.
Now they get a turnover, and McCoy comes back in.
He's going to come in with 2 fouls, and you know Dave Pilipovich, he's as sharp as there is. You got to go at him, don't you?
You go at him for 2 reasons. He might commit number 3, but I think more importantly, he won't guard because he doesn't want to get number 3, so you can score. So look to get the ball in there to Jonathan Dwayne, number 30.
Manning, long 3, he's got another one. And Air Force is within 6. Manning has given them a huge lift. He's got 8.
And the fans are getting restless, but the fans need to do a better job of getting behind their team and helping them.
Clyburn to Beck, and Beck turned it over. That's 11 turnovers in the first half. They average 14 typically over 40 minutes.
Yeah, they commit the second most turnovers in the Mountain West Conference, and their turnover count is down from earlier in the season. It's still not great. There's Manning draining that 3.
Manning's always been intriguing to me if he's healthy because he can shoot it from the perimeter, and he's got athletic ability. Here's Dwayne, and he gave it up too quickly for me.
He could have gone baseline. He didn't realize that McCoy was on his high side. He had a drop step and a score.
Manning again, quick 3. He's got another. Air Force within a triple now.
Put him on speed dial. That ball's going back. I'm riding that horse.
Quick release, too, for Ryan Manning. And the answer from Johnson. Jordan Johnson with his 40th three-pointer of the year. He's shooting 41% from deep.
Well, he's not much bigger than the answer was when he played for Georgetown. AI.
Johnson is listed at 5'11". I don't know. I saw you go out and talk to him earlier.
You know, I'm 5'10 and a half, and I think he is 5'11". He may be a little bigger than that even. I was surprised. It's funny when I was talking. You know, he told me, I asked him, played at Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Horizon League. Difference between Horizon here, he says, the competition. I said, be more specific. He said, in the Horizon League, you got to worry about 1 or 2 players. In this league, every player can make plays.
It's a pretty accurate assessment of the Mountain West. Good cut, and oh, look at that. That's a jump ball by Rule. The block by the trailer back. The possession arrow will keep the basketball with Air Force.
You know
that went from a dunk to a block to a, well, we got to start over.
Yeah. You know what I call that? The play by Beck gets them is worth half a possession. Because now they're going to get the ball coming back in the start of the second half, UNLV is.
43 seconds to go in the first half. Air Force is down by 15 at one juncture. Here's Manning.
Nice out-of-bounds play by Coach Pilipovich. He didn't get the shot, but he ran a double curl for his best shooter who's been on fire, Manning.
Wayne flashes up top, and he'll fire. And the rebound to Johnson.
They'll go for one shot, a difference of half a second between shot clock and game clock.
And in fact, Marvin Menzies wants his grease board. He's going to draw one up. 21 plus seconds when they Yeah, we don't work sports, we play sports. That's the phrase, is it not?
I'm paying AT&T to let me do this.
And that's the way it should work with you personally. Here we go, 20 seconds left.
Probably get some kind of a high pick and roll late in the shot clock. Oh, nice move by Coach Philippou, but you came out in the 1-3-1 zone, give him a different look.
Warren can shoot it from there, and he throws it away. And there's plenty of time now for the Academy, 6 seconds.
He can not only shoot it from there, he can throw it away from there.
That is a dozen first-half turnovers. Here's Seipels racing it up the floor. Seipels all the way in, and it's tomahawk down. That'll end the first half. Guess who? Brandon McCoy.
It's nice to have Bill Russell back there protecting the rim.
Paint the Picture is brought to you by Mako. Thomas and Mack Center. We're back in 1990. The Runnin' Rebels were the last one standing. National champions. And they have all kinds of numbers hanging in the rafters here. Sidney Green. Great point guard Greg Anthony. Grandmama, Larry Johnson.
When they won that championship in 1990, they were in the Big West Conference. And I was then the assistant at San Jose State in the same conference. And we lost it in the conference championship game. They were awfully good. Just one of many great teams that took Tarkanian had.
Yep, and that will count. And guess who? Torvell Beck.
Picks up right where he left off in the first half, and now he's got a three-point opportunity.
Foul is on Seipels.
Instead, everybody talks about the freshman McCoy that's posted up on the right side, but the other freshman is starting the 3 spot this half. Jump starts the Rebels.
Beck misses, and here comes Lions the other direction. Lavelle Scotty, Ryan Swan both had 2 fouls, so they didn't play a ton of minutes in the first half. They're in there starting the second half, as is Manning to start the second half. Swan, 3-ball. Good beginning for Ryan Swan. That's his second hoop of the game. He's got 5.
Well, he was open in the low post early in that possession, and they need to get the ball inside and play inside out. That's what they're best. And you know what? I like what Coach Filipovich did, inserting Manning into the second half lineup the way he played in the first half. Like I said, if you got a hot hand, ride it.
McCoy put it on the floor. That's a turnover. They double him immediately. That's been the strategy all game. Here's Scotty, and he'll get a couple of free throws. Beck committed the foul.
At the other end, that double down is really causing McCoy difficulty. And one of the things I like the Air Force is doing is they're coming off the passer. So the only way he's got to get it back out is to the man who threw the pass of the 3. Some people would come big on big, and then he can dump the interior pass to Houston, slicing to the cup. But the Falcons take that away.
So Scotty, who's an economics major, splashes the first free throw, and the leading scorer for Air Force has his first point of the night.
An economics major. You tell me there are no physical educations or recreation majors at the Air Force Academy?
Not at the Academy.
My favorite one is TUI. Aeronautical Engineering. I can't even spell it. He's already a graduate student, and he's going into pilot training.
And the seniors have gotten their assignments where they'll be next year. There's a runner that is up and in by Houston. Second hoop for Shakur Houston.
Yeah, the fact that the Rebels were up at half by 6, and they got very little help from their 2 leading scorers, Houston and McCoy. Only 3 points between them.
Swan goes baseline, and McCoy just bought his 3rd.
He's got to know when not to foul. By that I mean, it's more important that he stays in the game and allows that player to score, allows Swan to get the basket. Don't worry about the basket. The Rebels need you on the court. And Coach Menzies not pulling him out right now. Maybe one of the things he wants to do is he wants to help the freshman learn how to play when he's in foul trouble. Some players are good at that.
Well, Ryan Swan told me before the ball game, he's not intimidated by going up against bigger guys. And part of the reason is he played in high school at Overland High School in Aurora, Colorado with Deron Davis, who's
at Indiana.
At Indiana. He's hurt right now. He had an Achilles tendon tear and surgery. But Davis is a 6'11" kid.
Yeah, he's a nice player. I like Davis.
Loose basketball out of bounds. It'll go to Air Force. And for that reason, Swan goes, okay, big deal. I was banging against a guy who's 6'11" my entire high school career.
Right. Every night, every day I had to play against him. And you get better.
35-31. Again, Air Force was down by 15 in the first half. Here's Scotty, and Scotty makes it a one-point game. His 27th three of the year. Again, as you illustrated off the top, Dave, he can go outside.
Yeah, he can play both ways. Nice inside pass. But McCoy has to finish that one. He's got to go up to dunk that with two hands. Now we see Scotty at the other end, and basically Juice's not guarding him close enough. You got to get on him. The scouting report shows that he can shoot the basketball.
And at the other end, Scotty picked up his third. Dave Pilipovich is now walking down toward his bench. He's not pulled him out yet. McCoy. Nice free throw shooter, Dave, especially for a kid. A 7-footer who's above 70%, especially at this stage.
Yeah, he's really elevated his game during the course of the year. His numbers are down a little bit, but his game is better.
All three of his points from the line. Marvin Menzies looks on, 37-34.
Now what McCoy can't do right now, he's fighting Swan when he's too far away from the basket. Let him catch the ball at 15 feet with his back to the basket.
Swan slips the screen. 12 on the shot clock.
Now move
right
your
at
feet
McCoy.
And just wall up against him. Don't try to block the shot.
Lyons.
Yeah, that was a good time. See how he put his hands straight up and walled up? Good job.
Johnson kicks it to Morey. Good closeout by Seipels to prevent the shot. Offensive foul on Morey.
Seipels getting ready for the Academy Awards on that one.
Yeah, Morey understandably did not like that call. I think he had a beef. Seipels was all alone underneath. Lyons didn't get him the ball. Manning from 24 feet. And the rebound. Swan competed for it, and it goes out off of Ryan Swan.
You're right about Ryan Manning's release. He gets good legs into his shot, so he gets up. He's got good legs, a strong player, and he gets it off quickly. You know, his father, Rich Manning, was a very good player at University of Kentucky and at Washington.
Johnson with the hoop. And nice job by Swan, waiting till everybody clears. 9 points for Ryan Swan. A rejuvenated Air Force Falcon team. They're within 3 again.
Well, they got healthy by winning a pair of games at home last weekend. There's a double down.
Morey fires. And Morey connects.
Morey's a feast or famine player. He can be really good or he can be stinko. Tonight, he's very good.
He had 15 in Colorado Springs, the first matchup with the Academy. Lyons inside the three-point line. Nothing but the cords. Lyons with 10.
10 points for Lyons makes him 4 points away from 1,000. If he gets 1,000 points, he and his brother will both have had 1,000 points. He'll be the first brother act ever to do that in the Mountain West.
McCoy laid it in off his own miss.
Well, when you miss, you know better than anybody where that ball's going to go.
Lyons, he's now within a point of 1,000. Trevor Lyons with 13. We said off the top that, yeah, Scotty leads him in scoring. Swan has really come on in conference play. But the senior Lyons can go get you 20 on a given night. He looks like he's having one of those evenings. 3-point game. Mom and Dad were ROTC in college. Trevor's dad at a Division III school in Virginia, played both football and basketball. Mom went to the University of Tennessee.
Now they come out of the timeout in the zone. After every timeout, Coach Pilipovich is doing a good job of changing defenses, give the Rebels a different look.
Here's Morey inside. Jong has to kick it outside. 5 on the shot clock, and Houston in and out. Rebound to 44, Van Solen, but a foul.
They got Combs on a block out, and I don't think it's a good call. I thought it was as plain basketball.
We're going to take another timeout. 14:56 to go second. Bay. Vegas strong t-shirts, and our hearts go out tonight to those people in Broward County and another unspeakable tragedy at a school today in Broward County, Florida.
Looks like a zone, but it's man-to-man. You tell when the cutter ran on the baseline, Johnson and Lyons followed him. You're trying to figure out what the defense is. Run a cutter through and see if the guy goes with him.
Boring off balance doesn't matter. He reminds me of Marshall from Nevada last year. He can make tough shots. Boring with 8.
Makes closely guarded shots.
Tui to Van Solen. Shot clock to single digits. Here's Tomes. And away from the ball, Tui was fouled. Trying to position himself for a rebound. Was it on Jong? It was on Jong. It's a second on Chet Mbake. Floor spacing right now by Air Force. Lyons gets a step on Clyburn, leans in, looking for a foul. Here's Tui trying to clean it up. He misses outside for Cycles. Lyons for 3. And finally, UNLV gets a rebound. They dominated the glass in the first half.
Oh, Jong has given him a big lift. He's really come on as freshman as backup center. The other big African player that had a good year last year,
Dembele.
Yeah, Dembele. He had a concussion earlier this year, was in a concussion protocol, and his minutes has just really shrunk. It's not that he hasn't improved, it's just that he's been hurt this year.
That is the 3rd foul on Frank Tui. Here's Jordan Johnson at the line. Last year at Wisconsin-Milwaukee, averaged getting 8 assists a game, which was 2nd best in the nation.
25th this year at 5.9 and at 86%. A very good free throw shooter. Hey, and how about this? He gets the Lou Gehrig Award. 35 minutes a night, the Iron Man.
He's got a dozen tonight. 2 points off his season average.
He's a big factor because of how he pushes the basketball and has to trade off the bounce.
UNLV back up 7. Tomes gets a pretty good look. And the rebound pulled down by Clyburn. Boy, did he get away with a double dribble in the backcourt?
It looked like that.
I have to check that again. I don't know if obviously the official didn't see it unless we didn't see it accurately.
Well, more importantly,
Houston offensive foul. It's wiped out. That's 3 on. Excuse me, that's 2 on Houston.
More importantly,
3 on Houston.
More importantly, the official has the whistle.
Houston, that's displacing. Tui shoots the 3, and he knocks it down. Frank Tui.
He's always been good from there, 38-5 on the season, but he's always been a consistent outside shooter. Again, you talked about it earlier, Drew. The bigs for Air Force can always stretch the floor.
Johnson gets a step. And it's out of bounds.
So look at Tui here. He sets the side screen, and McCoy doesn't come out to guard him. McCoy has to adjust his defense against Air Force and know that he has to come out against their bigs.
Jacob Van on the floor, and that was a pretty pass. I don't know how he got it through there. You got to be Tom Brady to connect on that one. He found Lyons, and Lyons was fouled.
Or Nick Foles, you said he did it last week.
Yeah, it's either one. They were both pretty good a couple Sundays ago.
But I would say if he didn't complete that pass, I would have said you couldn't have got a grease grape through there. That window was very small. We've talked about this. Whenever Air Force, when they dribble out a player, that player is usually going to back cut. And his defender is thinking about pressuring, and that's what opens up that back cut, and that's why Lions got the pass. I was a little surprised they're not shooting it there.
Yeah, I thought that was in the act of shooting. Evidently not.
Again, the guy with the whistle is the guy that counts.
You never gave him a lot of credit when you were coaching, though, did you?
Very little.
9 on the shot clock. Tui.
See, that time McCoy adjusted. He was out on him. And now we got
that'll be on Tui, and that's 4. Setting the screen, Frank Tui buys his 4th.
Part of that's the fault of the ball handler. He started to dribble before Tui was set. And as a result, the foul gets called on him.
See, that's a good call.
It's a very good call. There's a little dribble handoff. He slid that hip. And plus, that's the point of emphasis in college basketball this year. The screening being too wide. I like the wide screens as a coach. But the new rules say the feet can be no wider than the shoulders.
Pull up is short, and Manning pulls down the rebound off the Omari Hardy miss.
And Hardy's one of those guys, he's instant offense off the bench. He comes in firing.
Van, the senior from Mansfield, Texas. I don't know how he made that shot, but he did, his first hoop. And it's a 2-point affair.
And you don't see him driving very often. Most of his shots, over 65%, are from beyond the arc.
McCoy, and it was blocked by Van Solen.
Turnabout's fair play. McCoy's blocking other shots. They give them inside, something different than the older guys have in their arsenal.
Trevor Lyons is a staple on the floor. He's a senior. C.J. Seipel still gets a great deal of time. He's a senior. But other than that, this is a team of underclassmen. Good catch by Mooring in a crowd.
The bad inbounds play by Clyburn. He's tippy-toeing on the baseline. He's got to take a step back so he can step into his pass. Almost intercepted, and 6 on the shot clock.
And the 3 is knocked down by Beck. What a night he's having. 15 for Tobel Beck.
He was just 6 of 18 from beyond the arc before that one.
Answered at the other end by Lavelle Scotty. 51-49.
These teams are shooting the heck out of it here in the second half. Both teams well over 50% from the field.
Mooring out of the corner. He's got it. Javon Mooring's got 11. 53 triples this year. And the crowd starting to get involved here. Swan against McCoy. Drives on him, looking for the foul. McCoy kind of backed off. Good job officiating also.
Yeah.
Would have bought his 4th at the whistle blown.
Like NASCAR. Rubbin's racing, bumpin's basketball. That was just a bump play on.
McCoy. Clyburn's in there, and which way? Goes to Air Force. Or no, it doesn't. Stays with UNLV.
So here you see Lavelle Scotty stepping out to shoot the 3 off the pass. Again, the closeout's a little late. You got to recognize he can shoot that. Mooring in the corner. Nice job by Hardy making the extra pass. Harding had a shot, but he found the guy open with a wide open shot.
Mooring. And McCoy kept it alive.
Sometimes you may not get the offensive rebound if you back tip it. That's what McCoy did. He tipped it back, and one of his teammates could pick it up on the perimeter.
McCoy's just 1 of 7 shooting the basketball tonight, but he does have 8 rebounds and a couple of blocks. Inside 9:40 to play in the second half. Johnson and Tomes really stole it. Mooring rips it towards the deep. Count the basket. A 4-point opportunity for Mooring.
So we get a little bit of a dipsy-do drive and then a behind-the-back pass into the corner. And they call the foul. The foul's a little bit ticky-tacky. Morgan gets it. Little push on the hip, but he does a flop.
And because he went down, that is 4 fouls on Lavelle Scotty. The rare play, a 4-point play for Mooring. 15 for Javon, the senior from Chicago. 58-49. UNLV, they can score in bunches. They open up a 9-point lead. Oh, what a pass! Bad! Behind the back. What a beautiful feed to Swan.
He one-up Johnson. It was not just a behind the back, it was on the move.
Manning pulls it down. The Air Force looking to push tempo. Van Solen has an open Manning. 3-ball. And McCoy with his 9th rebound.
Both of Manning's three-point attempts have been a little flat. Needs to get his follow-through up a little bit higher, not in front of his face.
Well, playing more minutes tonight than he has in a while. Maybe the legs are fatigued, Coach.
Good possibility. Well, old-fashioned weave out front. Sometimes,
I don't know how he holds on to it. Boy, he can handle it. And Mooring, no go. McCoy misses again from point-blank range. He's 1 out of 8. Lyons going 1 on 3, and he got fouled.
I like Lyons' decision there, and because he had Johnson backpedaling and off balance, so he kept pushing it because the guy couldn't stop him. You need to, on the dribble, you need to know when to push and when to pull back. That was the one to put the pedal to the metal. Lyons did it, and he's shooting a pair of free throws.
7th team foul on UNLV. There are 6 whistles in the half on the United States Air Force Academy. That was on Becky's 2nd. Lyons flashes the free throw. 14 for Trevor Lyons. You're talking about majors. You know what his focus is?
I'm listening.
Cyber security. Left it short, got it back, and made his own 3-point play.
What I said earlier, when a guy is shooting, nobody knows better where that ball's going than the shooter. And he anticipated, and now suddenly we got a ball game, 4 points again.
But what do you always talk about? If you're high on the free throw line, who's got shooter, right? Nobody boxed him out. There's a block by Air Force. And Mooring's fouled by Jacob Van. That'll be a 1-and-1 for Javon. But first a timeout, 7:52 to go in what has been a very entertaining game tonight in Boise between the Broncos and the Wolfpack.
The Fresno-San Jose State game is unusual. The San Jose State, although they're winless in conference, have played most teams very tough.
And you know what? They took a look at the foul and the shot a moment ago on Mooring. They said, no, it's not a 1-and-1. It was in the act of shooting, and it was a 3-point shot. So Mooring makes the second, and has one more coming. 16 tonight for Mooring. Earlier this year, Air Force looked like they were going to pull the upset perhaps against UNLV. And then with 18 seconds left, Mooring hit a back-breaking 3 at Clune Arena.
Well, in that game, UNLV shot 63%. So Air Force is fortunate to be in it late.
Swan going at McCoy, who keeps backing off because of the 3 fouls.
Swan had the easy right-handed jump hook to start with and came with the up and under.
Boy, McCoy, now he picked up his 4th over the back. 1 for 9. This has been his worst shooting night of his young college basketball career. In a victory in Reno, one we discussed last week, he was 1 for 6, but his buddies picked up the slack.
Well, not only does he pick up foul number 4, but it sends Van Solen to the free throw line for a 1-on-1 at the other direction.
Van Solen, pretty good free throw shooter. He's at 76%. As a team, Air Force, one of the best in the Mountain West at 75%. That will win you close games.
They get 22% of their points from the free throw line. They're good at getting to the free throw line.
Dave Pilipovich telling Michael Irving a joke. Whatever he said was funny, right?
Sometimes the byplay in the sideline, you know, it can surprise you. And then the next possession, you could be yelling at the guy.
4-point game. And was that a foul? Yep. It'll be on Swan, and that will be his third.
That's not the first time they try to trap Johnson when he gets on the sideline. Johnson's short, so the trap on him, he can't see around or over the trap, and they've done that multiple times.
It'll be a 1-and-1. Johnson, again, an 86% free throw shooter. He's got a dozen points in the game. He had 20 against Air Force earlier this year.
Well, 2 years ago, he was a junior college All-American, much like Houston, and then he went to Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where he was second team All-Horizon Conference. He could be an all-conference player in the Mountain West this year.
Johnson does his thing. 6-point lead again for the running Rebels. And now they'll pressure.
2-2-1 three-quarter court zone press. This is a little more active press than used in the first half.
Six to shoot it. Swan, and he's fouled by John.
Very nice job by Swan.
He's really creative, isn't he?
And when you get the ball inside, the game slows down. Be patient on the catch. Let the cutter go through. Let the other defenders clear out. See, let Mourning go. After Mourning leaves, then he takes his move. He goes under the rim, uses the rim and the net to protect the ball from the shot blocker, Jong, and Jong has to foul him. Smart play by Swan.
And Swan's mom played basketball for a while at the University of Oklahoma. His sister, Jamie, she may be the best player in the family. Jamie was a star at the University of Colorado, graduated a couple of years ago, is now playing professionally in Greece.
I call that DNA. Now we got a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press. Zone.
Air Force recovers now.
And they back into the man-to-man.
Mooring, good pass. And that's offensive foul. That was drawn by Van Solen. Van Solen's doing a lot of the little things, isn't he?
Things that don't show up in the box score, but help you win.
3 on Beck. That's a good call.
Yeah, he caught him. He didn't take it full in the chest, but he got enough to have the offensive foul.
Disciples, been a reluctant shooter this year.
Well, the shot's not very pretty. And he hasn't shot a good percentage, especially from beyond the arc at 20%.
Hardy gives it up. Johnson. And Disciples fouled him on the floor. And anytime Johnson gets fouled, you might as well just put 2 points on the board.
86%. Very good free throw shooter. He's a good all-around guard.
That's why he plays 35 minutes a night. You want him on the floor, and you especially want him on the floor late if it's close.
Well, think of the things he does in the guard. He's first in the conference in assists. Second in assist turnover ratio, which is very important at 2.2. That means he has double the assists to turnovers. Second at the free throw line, even though he missed that one. And 10th in the conference in steals. He does all the things you'd like a little guard to do.
Mooring backs off Disciples. Here's Van. And he didn't get the roll. Rebound to Houston. Houston has just 4 points, and McCoy has 5. So their two inside enforcers haven't done much offensively. Van long on the 3, and he gets it back somehow. Lyons knocks down a triple. It's a 2-point game. 19 for Lyons, a foul at the other end.
That means Lyons has broken that 1,000-point mark, but I don't think they're going to stop the game and give him a ball here at Thomas and Mack. He knows where that line is. The worst shot in basketball to shoot is the long 2. Because the long 2 doesn't get you much, but the 3 gives you additional points. You got to be smart enough, and he stepped back to shoot it. Now we got Beck at the line.
1,005 points now for Trevor Lyons. As Beck adds his 16th point tonight,
which is a new career high for Beck. 15 coming in tonight.
They had 15 against Wyoming.
Where would they be? Where would they be without Beck in this ball game? Because the other 2 guys that started with him in the front line McCoy and Houston have combined for 9, which is 1 more than they combined for in Colorado Springs in the game at Clune.
People who play UNLV down the road, they're going to be looking at what Dave Filipovich's team did in those 2 games and how they were able to keep the wraps on the 2 stars for UNLV.
Well, they've done a nice job.
Cut, Lions put a fork in it. Swan a 3. That would have tied it. Inside 5 minutes to play. And it goes out of bounds off of Clyburn.
Now here's UNLV, who's the 5th highest scoring team in the nation and only have 63 right now. I think Air Force has done a great job defensively of slowing them down. They've changed things up. They haven't given anything easy. The defense used by Air Force has really been picture perfect, and there's a cut.
There's an easy one for Scotty. It's a 1-point game.
So with 4.5 to go, Scotty's back in the game. And Coach Filipovich is rolling the dice, hoping he doesn't pick up number 5.
Clyburn. He can't connect. And now Air Force can take the lead.
And they have numbers if they look up the floor.
That is an offensive foul on Lions.
He left his feet to make the pass. Young players that are out there, you want to play the game on 2 feet with 2 hands. You see him leave his feet to try to pass it. So he's looking where the pass is going to be. You come to a jump stop there. You minimize turnovers by playing with 2 hands and on 2 feet.
Good job by Mooring to sell that.
And back in that same 1-2-2 3/4 court press. Look for him to trap on the sidelines, especially if Johnson gets on the sideline.
If nothing else, it slows UNLV down in getting into their offense, doesn't it, Coach?
Your point is very well made. That's what they do.
Here's Johnson, and he had it knocked away. Recovers.
If I'd have one criticism of Johnson, late in games, sometimes he tries to do too much.
Houston, that did hit the rim, so the shot clock reset. Again, Air Force can take the lead.
Swan did a great job rim running, and he beat McCoy down the floor.
McCoy, his size just affected that shot by Swan. 3.5 to go. Johnson, great feed to Mooring.
He can make that bounce pass off the dribble. Let's go back to what you said about the size. The great coach of Washington, Marv Harshman's line was, in a game, quickness gets tired, height don't shrink.
Not generally. Van from Swan. 2 gorgeous passes back to back. And McCoy, he ain't gonna miss that one. Just his 2nd field goal of the night.
That's a point-blank range.
67-64 running Rebels. The only lead Air Force had was 2-0. Scotty got it from 17, and it's a 1-point game. Timeout with 2:40 left. What a ball game. Back for the stretch run after this. It's been a heck of a game, Coach.
Worth the price of admission. We see the Air Force foul trouble there with Chewy and Scotty with 4 and Swan with 3. The 3 is really not much of a factor with 2:40 to go.
And Scotty with 2:40 is not going to watch. He's going to be on the floor, the leading scorer for Air Force. McCoy is also out there. He has 4 fouls for UNLV.
Well, UNLV started this half hot, but they've cooled off significantly down to 37% from the field in the second half. Good defense by Air Force.
Do they become guard-oriented with Mooring and Johnson here late?
Yeah, I think it does, especially with Johnson's penetration.
Mooring has the basketball, and he just fires, and he hits. We've seen him do that. We saw him do that last year. He's amazing, and he knows when it's winning time. 4-point game.
Well, earlier in the game, he made that 4-point play when he's fouled in the corner. That should have been a 4 from how far out it was.
22 in the game for Mooring, and he reached and grabbed Swan. And both teams in the double bonus. So Swan will get 2 free throws on the foul by Mooring.
And the 2 free throws gives Coach Pilipovich an easy chance to set up a press if he wants to. After the second free throw is made by Swan, Swan going to the line where it's 78%. He's a very good free throw shooter for a big.
Give Swan a lot of credit too. He lost 25 pounds from a year ago. Last year, Coach, as a freshman, he gets in 9 games. He scored 19 points.
I didn't remember him. I got to tell you, my first time seeing Air Force was last week. We had him on TV. I did not remember him. I'm going to remember him now.
Absolutely.
I missed that one. That's tough.
Tough for 2 reasons. One, the obvious. The second thing, as you mentioned, they don't have the opportunity to set up pressure. They'll run a weave out top. 1:45 to play. UNLV by 3. Backdoor cut. Clyburn, reverse layup of beauty. Chris Clyburn's first bucket in the second half.
And the Falcons do a great job on their sideline break after the made basket. Got up to the floor in a hurry.
Van had McCoy on him.
Still plenty of time.
Van couldn't connect. Houston with his 9th rebound and a timeout by Marvin Menzies. With 1:15 to even. They're about a little less +1. So they have had a great night on the glass on both ends for Coach Menzies.
We saw Mooring get a rebound a minute ago. One of the things that's really hurt them rebounding-wise is they rely too much on Houston and McCoy. They have the second leading rebounding tandem in America behind Marvin Bagley III and Wendell Carter Jr. at Duke. And sometimes they just count on those guys to get the rebounds when the other guys have to chip in.
Van Solen committed a foul. And it'll send Mooring to the line. Mooring's an 80%er, and his buddy Jordan Johnson, as we have told you on a couple of occasions tonight, is an 86% free throw shooter.
Well, the guy you want to foul out there if you're going to foul is Houston, because Houston's only 48%.
.22 for Mooring tonight. He had 30 last year here at Thomas and Mack in that double overtime win against Air Force. 6-point game. Still plenty of time. Lyons drops it off to Swan. And he has it blocked by McCoy. McCoy never left his floor and blocked it.
McCoy said,
"You got a foul.
This is my office, no trespassing. You cannot come in." He blocked that with his armpit. He's just that big and tall. He doesn't have great length, but he is tall.
Fouls on Lyons, and Johnson on the line. He can make it an 8-point game. $14 out of 22 from the line tonight. Now 15 out of 23 for UNLV. Air Force just 8 of 12.
Good job of Clyburn covering the man in the corner on that sideline fast break. They wanted to get Lyons in the right corner for the shot, couldn't get the ball to him.
Scotty weaves in, and that's a big miss, and the foul comes that'll send McCoy to the line.
48 seconds to go, up 8. McCoy going to the free throw line. You do baseball, he wants to be the closer. He wants to be Wade Davis, right?
Sure.
He doesn't want to be Kenley Jansen. He doesn't want to gag against the Cubs.
Oh, that's harsh.
Excuse me, against the Astros, my bad.
That's harsh, because if you're taking one closer in baseball right now, you're going to take that guy with the cutter in Los Angeles. I love Davis, too. Those are two great ones. Jensen's
very, very good, no question. But he did cough it up in the 9th inning against the Astros. And, of course, since I'm a diehard Giants fan, in my house they're known as the hated Dodgers.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, they're not the favorite of the Colorado Rockies either.
Well, if the Rockies and the Dodgers playing, I'm rooting for the Rockies every single time.
Attaboy. Here's McCoy, and he gets it both. Nice job by Brandon McCoy, and now the lead is 10 for UNLV. Van, and that's goaltending. That probably wasn't.
That was going to be short.
Yeah, shrewd.
But it was not a
McCoy.
Yeah, going to be short, but it wasn't a good decision.
So Van gets the 3. Still a 7-point game.
It'll throw it up in the air.
Coach, what about the strategy of fouling Houston before the ball gets inbounded?
I would think about that. My bad. Because it was a goaltend, that counts as a basket, so we can run the baseline.
Right.
Run the baseline, get a better angle. You don't have a choice. Quick trap and foul. Yeah, I know he's a good free throw shooter, but you don't have a choice.
Now you got to foul McCoy. And Van does so. 7 seconds evaporated from the clock. It will take some help and a special final 35 seconds from Air Force, but they still have a whisper of a chance. But the Rebels have done their job from the line here in this stretch run. Johnson, Mooring, and just a moment ago, Brandon McCoy hit a couple of free throws, and he's right back there.
What he said about McCoy, at over 70% for a big freshman, he's a very good free throw shooter, so you don't have to pull him out of the game late in the game. And of course, right then he makes me a liar. 3-point shooters coming in with Manning and Lavelle Scotty.
How about Brandon McCoy? He's one of 25 finalists for the Wooden Award, which goes to the Player of the Year in college basketball. He's not going to win it, but he's one of 6 freshmen, along with that kid from Oklahoma, Trey Young, to be on that list. He's the only Mountain West player.
He's also on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar list for the center, best center in America.
Yeah, and he's one of 10 there. Swan hits a 3, and it's a 5-point game. Now listen, Manning is in the game, and he's on Houston. When you were coaching, would you go to the official and say, hey, listen, we're going to foul Houston?
No question.
Do you watch it? We're going to foul before the ball gets inbounded.
I'd let him know in advance. I'm going to go foul him.
They're not doing that here. They're waiting till the ball gets inbound. Clyburn's the one who gets fouled, and Clyburn, who's a 53% free throw shooter, goes to the line.
But he's shooting in the double bonus, which makes it a whole lot easier. And one of the things I like Coach Menzies is doing, some teams in this situation, some coaches take everybody off the lane line and put them back so they're in a position to defend. I think that makes your shooter feel like he's alone. It's him against the world. He's naked out there.
You know, it's funny you said that, because often I've thought as Clyburn makes the front end, his 9th point, often I've thought, you know, when you get a technical foul, you get rewarded, I put that in air quotes, you get to stand at the free throw line all by your lonesome. It's so unusual that it's probably a little bit more difficult.
When I was a young college head coach, I used to do that, pull them back. And an older coach,
good job by Clyburn,
who's a mentor of mine, made that suggestion. Put them up there, at least on the first free throw, so they feel like they got friends.
Houston, the rebound, that should do it. And it's taken away, or was there a foul? There was no foul called initially, and then Lions just grabbed the basketball, and then we got a whistle.
I think the official, Mike Reed, is going to let things go until the Lions got the ball. Dave Pilipovich was telling his guys not to foul. But sometimes that can happen. You know, you just kind of get in the heat of the moment. You're used to it. He definitely is fouled here. There's no question. And Mike Reed, you can see the official there. He wasn't going to raise his hand and blow the foul until the Lions took the ball. But he gives Mooring a chance to pad his stats. Add to a very good night, by the way.
Hey, listen, he had 3 points at halftime. He's got 23 right now, and
that's called a big second half.
That is called, man, he could do that. I mean, he really can score truly in bunches.
What did I say? He's a feast and famine player. He was famine in the first half. He was starving. But in the second half, he was the buffet line.
And the thing you like about a guy like Mooring, a senior, but he wants the basketball late. And Van misconnects with Manning, and with 9+ seconds left, UNLV can inbound it. And folks who've come to watch the Running Rebels tonight can go home happy. Johnson will dribble it out. Air Force was game tonight. They gave UNLV all they wanted. The Running Rebels now have won 5 out of 6 as Dave Pilipovich and Mark